Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and what I want to talk about in this video is something I see quite often, and something I find pretty ridiculous, and something which can end up getting you into a lot of trouble. And that's people that wear identification shields. They're usually gold or silver type shields that the US police wear. And you can get them for close protection, private investigations, concealed carry, etc. You can buy them online. And I've seen a lot of people walking around with shields on, the police type shields. You know what? To me, they're a big no-no. And if I see people walking around with them, I tend to avoid that type of people because it says Walter Mitty to me. You're living in a fantasy world. You have to prove who you are. It's just complete and utter bullshit. I've had people turn up to firearms courses with concealed carry shields. And there's some associations in the US, you know what, you pay your dues and I'll send you out a shield and a little wallet you can carry a concealed weapons permit in. You know what? My question to these people all the time is, who are you going to show that to? The only time you need to identify yourself is if you're involved in only people you need to identify yourself would be to law enforcement. And again, then you show them your concealed weapons permit, which is just like an ID card. There's no need to flash a shield. If anybody sees you with that shield and they call the police and say, we think we got somebody here that's impersonating a cop, etc., you can end up in big problems. If you're involved in a potentially hostile incident, you pull a firearm or somebody sees your firearm and then you flash that badge, again, they can call the police. We think we got somebody here impersonating a police officer. You can end up in a lot of trouble. There's no need for shields for concealed carry. A lot of private investigators carry shields. Why? To identify themselves as private investigators. Again, the only people you should be identifying yourself to as a licensed private investigator is potential clients. And again, you can do that by the ID card, or again, state licenses, etc. Or law enforcement, state officials if you're being checked on, etc. There's no need to go around flashing shields. I've also come across one guy in particular comes to mind, a former student of mine in South Florida. He'd done a close protection course with us, and we bounced him on the firearms. We wouldn't certify him for firearms because he was lousy. He was a liability with a gun, even though he was a licensed security guard in the state of Florida, armed security guard, and he was working armed at the time. He passed his G license firearms qualification, state firearms qualification, but as far as we're concerned, when he was on the range with us, he was under individual supervision. He done okay on the close protection course, but as far as firearms was concerned, we wouldn't certify him. Good guy. I bumped into him afterwards. He done some little bit of work for me afterwards, unarmed, of course. But a little bit after the course, I bumped into him and some of his associates. They were laughing at him. And the reason being, and again, he told me in the end, he showed me, he went and bought after the course. He spent apparently almost $200 on a gold-plated international Bodyguard shield. And he kept it in a little wallet and all the other stuff with his with his security guard licenses, his D and his G license. I said to him, okay, you nuts or what? Why? If anybody sees that, if you flash that, again, people can call the cops, you're impersonating a cop, etc. And again, why he spent money on a gold-plated one, I've got no idea. If it was gold-plated, he most probably got scammed. But again, to me, the type of people that walk around with shields on are complete Walter Mitties. They're trying to prove something. Want to be cops, etc. If you want to be a cop, go be a cop. Just because you got a badge doesn't mean you have any authority whatsoever. Nothing. And what a lot of people don't realize, especially people that's outside of the close protection business, private investigation business, is the private investigators, security guards, close protection operators, etc., are civilians. They have no special authority. So all these badges, to me, is no different than having a chocolate donut. That about sums it up. Another story. long time ago, after the earthquake in Haiti, I was there with a news crew, and we met up with one of my associates that was actually on the island from South Florida. And again, private investigator, and he always carried his ID cards in a Shield wallet. We got involved in something there. It was a little bit of a hostile situation, and it went from being a little bit of a hostile situation into quite a big hostile situation, because my associate decided to play the tough guy where he wasn't and flash around his private investigator's badge as if he was a cop. Unfortunately for him, in the crowd, there was a deportee, which was a guy, a Haitian, that had been in jail in the US, and when his time was up, he was deported back to Haiti. And he called out my associate. I was there dealing with something else. All of a sudden, things have gone from, I wouldn't say 0, things have gone to 3 to 10 pretty quickly, because the deportee went up to my associate and said, okay, show us your badge. What are you, a Fed? A federale? FBI or something from the embassy? No, private investigator's badge. You know what? For him, up until then, being in Haiti, it was a little bit of a status symbol. He's Haitian American, he's got a private investigation agency in the US, he's got a badge, he's got some money in Haiti, so he's a big shot, right? Well, now he bumped into a deportee that knew the truth and called him out on it big time. That situation was de-escalated after a lot of friction. And there was no need for that situation to be escalated in the first place. And I'd say the main reason it was escalated is because my associate decided to flash around his stupid private investigator shield. And he was called out for it. This is where, that's just a few examples of why I'm not big on shields, be it for private investigations, concealed carry, close protection, etc. There's no need for them. There's no need for you to have one of those to identify yourself to anybody. If you're working in private security, if you need to identify yourself, if you're working overtly, there's other ways of doing it, a lot more professional ways of doing it. And again, in most places, if you're working overt security, if you're working in a licensed business, there's strict regulations on how you do it. And generally, shields, wannabe police shields, are not the way to do it. So, for more on that, always follow, be it your state, national guidelines. Reach out and see what your licensing officials say on how you need to identify yourself if you're working overtly, because a lot of places have guidelines in place. And the other thing a lot of people forget, if you're carrying a police type shield, especially in the US, you can be done for impersonating a cop. And if that shield in any way is worded or looks like any of the police department shields in your state, etc., you can be done for, again, not only impersonating a cop, but also copying their shields, etc. So again, it's something I would say always try to avoid. If I see people flashing shields around, it just stinks of Walter Mitty, wannabe, plastic cop, etc. So follow me along on social media for a lot more of these videos. We've got a ton up, and we've got a lot more going up in the near future. And also I have an array of books up on Amazon that talks about various aspects of the security business, close protection business, travel security, kidnap and ransom, and also crime fiction. And follow us along on the blogs, because there's a load of articles up there. And in 2024, we're looking to get the courses going again. We've been laying off the courses because we're just busy. And I'm looking to sort out courses in the US in, I'd say, early to mid 2024 again, because again, we've just been too busy to deal with. So in the meantime, be good, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and stay focused and stay serious. Don't get caught up with the gimmicks and gadgets in the close protection business, security business, etc. A lot of it is complete and utter BS. People are just trying to sell you crap. And as I said, walking around with a shield on might make you look cool. You might think you look cool, but it can end up getting you into a lot of problems.